It was a day like any other in Maple Falls, until 17-year-old Emily Carter vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a quiet, broken town. What happened to her that fateful September evening? The answer would remain a mystery for years, until a single clue, long overlooked, would change everything. On a warm September evening in 1998, 17-year-old Emily Carter walked out of her high school band practice in Maple Falls, Iowa, a sleepy Midwestern town where crime was rare and doors were often left unlocked. She waved goodbye to friends, adjusted the strap of her backpack, and started the 3-block walk home. She never made it. At first, everyone assumed she had simply run away. But nearly a decade later, a single shocking clue hidden in plain sight would crack the case wide open, shattering the community's sense of safety forever. Maple Falls wasn't the sort of place where teenagers disappeared. It was a farming town with one main street, a diner that doubled as a gossip hub, and a high school where everyone knew each other. Emily was a senior with big dreams, a bright, ambitious girl who wanted to study journalism in college. Friends described her as funny and determined. Teachers saw her as someone destined to break free of small-town life. That's why her sudden disappearance on September 14, 1998, didn't make sense. Her room was untouched, her savings unspent, and she hadn't packed a bag. She was last seen walking with her flute case slung over her shoulder, heading toward her family's house. When she never showed up for dinner, panic set in. The search for Emily consumed the town. Police dogs tracked her scent as far as the Maple Mart convenience store, where a clerk remembered seeing her briefly before she vanished. Neighbors reported something more chilling. Emily had been seen speaking to a man in a dark pickup truck parked near the corner of Cedar and Main. No one caught the license plate. Despite this, the police leaned toward the runaway theory. She was 17, after all, old enough to leave if she wanted. They speculated she may have gone to Chicago or Des Moines in search of excitement. But Emily's parents refused to believe it. Her diary showed notes about college essays, not escape plans. Her best friend swore Emily had been excited for the upcoming homecoming dance. Still, the weeks turned into months. Posters faded on telephone poles. Leads dried up. By Christmas, the case had gone cold. For nearly 10 years, Emily Carter remained a missing person. The Carter family kept her bedroom frozen in time. The walls were still lined with Backstreet Boys posters. A lava lamp sat on her dresser, and half-read textbooks gathered dust. Every year on the anniversary of her disappearance, the community held a candlelight vigil. But hope dimmed as the years passed. The missing posters became part of the scenery, background noise in a town that never truly healed. In 2007, road construction workers clearing an old drainage system less than 2 miles from Emily's high school made a startling discovery. Among rusted pipes and debris was a faded backpack. Inside were water-damaged notebooks, Emily's student ID, and something that sent chills down investigators' spines. A cassette tape. The tape was labeled Audio Journal English Project. When restored and played, it began innocently, Emily practicing a spoken assignment for her English class. But in the background, faint but distinct, was the sound of a male voice. The words were muffled, but the tone was unmistakably angry, commanding, and threatening. Investigators sent the tape for analysis. The voice matched a man who had once lived just a few houses down from the Carters. His name was Dennis Holloway. Holloway was a familiar face in Maple Falls. In the late 1990s, he was in his 30s, worked odd jobs, and occasionally volunteered at youth events. Parents saw him as helpful. Teenagers saw him as harmless. But behind closed doors, Holloway had a darker side. He had a record of harassment in another county and a history of inappropriate behavior toward young women, details that had never reached Maple Falls authorities. He left town quietly in 2000, after Emily's case went cold, and moved 2 states away. Now, with the tape as evidence, detectives reopened the case. When confronted, Holloway denied everything. But investigators pressed harder. They found fibers in his old pickup truck, preserved from an earlier search, that matched the sweater Emily had been wearing the night she vanished. The evidence cornered him. In 2008, Holloway finally confessed. He admitted he had offered Emily a ride home that September evening. When she refused and rejected his unwanted advances, he snapped. He forced her into his truck, drove to a secluded area, and in a fit of rage, ended her life. For nearly 10 years, Emily's remains lay hidden in a wooded area on the outskirts of town, where Holloway finally led investigators. The revelation crushed Maple Falls. For a decade, the town had lived with the mystery, many clinging to the faint hope that Emily might still walk through the door. To learn she had been murdered by a man they trusted, a neighbor who lived among them, was devastating. At Holloway's trial, Emily's mother delivered a statement that silenced the courtroom. For years, I prayed for closure. I thought that would mean bringing Emily home alive. Instead, I am burying my daughter because of the evil of someone we once welcomed into our community. Holloway was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Emily Carter was laid to rest in 2009, nearly 11 years after she disappeared. Hundreds attended her funeral, lining the streets with candles one final time, not for hope, but for remembrance. The case remains a chilling reminder. Sometimes, evil hides in plain sight. For Maple Falls, the scars remain. Parents grew more protective. Children grew up faster. And Emily's story became the cautionary tale whispered to every new generation of teenagers in the town. Could investigators have solved this case sooner if the storm drain clue had been uncovered earlier? How many other cold cases remain unsolved simply because crucial evidence lies hidden, waiting to be found? Don't miss out on more real-life mysteries. Follow for the latest updates and uncover the truth behind the headlines.